the books, can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money betting with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA, stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show here for Friday, October 17th. And we're ready for another couple of games in the Major League Baseball playoffs, American League Championship Series, NLCS as well on Friday. We'll try not to end it, maybe. And we've also got 4 college football games tonight of the major conference variety, and 3 of them. And also we've got a 4-game NHL card tonight, big slate of NBA preseason action. If that floats your boat, go over those games as well. A couple of CFL games tonight, a nice Friday to get going here. So thank you for joining me here on the show. Yeah, we'll why not start off fired up a little steam action in there, huh? How about Memphis and Miami steam to the over here just moments ago in pro basketball tonight. A little bit of action here on the preseason board just moments ago, and this one's going up to 232.5 here in this one between Memphis and Miami. Hey, we've got to have a little steam when the morning steam pops off here. Hope you had a great night, and thank you for joining us last night for Thursday Night Football here on the Sports Money Network in conjunction with Razor Sharp Picks. We saw a wild one between a couple of old geezers. Who was the best unk last night? Was it Joe Flacco? Was it Aaron Rodgers? Or was it Max Scherzer in his performance against the Seattle Mariners last night? Let's start off with baseball. Got to start off with baseball after last night. Wild day of action for sure. So let's go to it and see how it was last night. Man, what a couple of games there with the Brewers and the Dodgers last night, and also Toronto and Seattle there yesterday as Blue Jays rocked again 8-2. Andres Jimenez, 4 RBIs in that one to even up that series there at 2 apiece, with another game here in Seattle tonight that tied up the series there in that one. And also the Dodgers 3-1 over the Brewers. Well, that might work if Milwaukee has scored 3 runs in the game, since they have 3 runs in the series so far. So I got one more chance tonight to maybe send it back to Milwaukee. But that's all you can do, I guess, as the Dodgers took a dominating 3-0 lead in the series. Tyler Glasnow, third fiddle to these other starters. Heck, 5 2/3 innings, 1 run, 8 strikeouts in a dominant outing in the bullpen. 3 innings, no hits allowed. Mookie, RBI double. Tommy Edman, an RBI single. And they scored the run on that wild pickoff throw as well. The Brewers scored, like I said, just 3 runs in 27 innings. Milwaukee's now lost 10 in a row on the road in the postseason. I mean, how could they come up with a win here tonight as well? So game 4 tonight, and it looks like Shohei Ohtani gets the bid in this one. And I would imagine here now, given what Milwaukee, I mean, every game's been half of a bullpen game for sure. But I guess here tonight, I'd have to say probably some combination of uh, uh, Chad Patrick. Jose Quintana obviously could come in after that if Patrick gets the opener assignment. But with Quintana, you could just have him start as a left-hander here against this lineup. But I think that's kind of what you'll see. Patrick hasn't pitched in 3 days, and Quintana in there as well, and maybe a little Grant Anderson. We'll see. They're all hands on deck for the Brewers tonight as they need a win desperately. We'll say hello to everybody in the chat and get started here with the show and see what happens tonight and see what happens with Toronto and Seattle and the Jays climbing back into that series. Springer had an RBI double. Vlad Guerrero, obviously a home run as well. Max Scherzer, the dominant surprise outing, if you will. And Luis Castillo got rocked for 3 runs and 5 hits in 2 1/3 innings. It'll be Gausman and Miller likely here tonight. All right, we had a great time last night here on the Sports Money Network in conjunction with razor sharp picks for that incredible football game last night with the Steelers and the Bengals. So the Bengals get that win. I talked about the schedule for the Bengals coming up. It looks pretty good. And I don't know, the Bengals were running there. They obviously found some momentum as poorly as they were playing without Burrow, but Steelers lose it 33-31 on a pathetic effort defensively by the Pittsburgh Steelers as Joe Flacco passed for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns, drove the length of the field for a field goal at the end of the game. Jamar Chase, 16 receptions, 116 yards. I think they revised it down to 23 targets, which I think does fall short of the NFL record. I thought he had 24, but I think they ruled that one pass on that last drive that sailed far and over the head was no target. I think that still should be a target, but nonetheless, an incredible performance by Jamar Chase. Chase Brown, 108 yards. Bengals piled up 420 on offense. The Steelers had 400 yards as well. The Bengals had a couple of interceptions there early that really helped them, and that frustrated Rodgers there on that sideline call. But McPherson, the 33-yard field goal with 7 seconds left. Cincinnati blew 10-point leads twice in the game. They were nothing special either. But Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns, 250 yards. Jalen Warren, 127 yards. We talked about which guys to kind of go on in that game yesterday, and I think we pretty much nailed it. No, I did say that. Look, I thought the numbers on Chase were too high, so I didn't really do much other than get involved there at halftime. That was the fastest you ever want to cash something there with that second half play that I made there on the show last night. But talked about Jalen Warren and his game. Gainwell didn't really get a chance there, not too much action. Warren was on fire. But we talked here on the show about Freiermuth, about Jonnu Smith as well, and Noah Fant. Those guys all pretty much got off, and so did Joe Flacco in that game. So get ready for a great weekend of NFL with that one. Of course, we'll be on the air for the first game of the day on Sunday. We got another game from England. And also take note of just seeing a lot of talk here about some of Sunday's action. There is one game in particular with some heavy weather conditions. We've already seen the total drop severely in the game between Miami and Cleveland. A couple of 1-5 teams already looking pretty bad. But what you're looking at here right now is a total that has dropped from 41 down to 37 there with Miami and Cleveland because of the weather that's moving in, a weather front, not just poor weather, but also windy conditions for that one with Miami and Cleveland. So take note of that. Already a 4-point drop in that total between the two teams. All right. Say hello to folks in the chat here today on a Friday as we get ready for a great sports weekend. And I'm happy to have you guys along for the ride here on the Morning Steam here every day. And Jimbo is here today. Nice to have him in. Robert McIntyre joining us, Jim Duiger in there as well. We got Nuke joining us. He says, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Thanks to Razor for getting the show together yesterday, but thanks to Mike and Jeff as well, keeping us afloat here. Good morning to Timothy Hawk there, and Doge is here as well. Nice to have Doge in there. All right, I'm going to get ready to go, but you guys can get ready to go with me and pick up some free plays from me in the chat. When you make any comment, you'll be eligible for free picks from me. And, well, maybe I should just stay away from the mainstream sports. Having a pretty good run in these overnight sports that I love to make picks on. And, man, I had it again there last night with the New Zealand Breakers over the Tasmania Jack Jumpers with my NBL play. Free when you subscribe at winnable.com/Ramon to my free picks. We had a winner there last night. And also in some tennis action here today, we had Alexandrova over McCartney Kessler in a little bit of a romp. And tried to come through last night with some other plays, but we've been going a little bit tough. Some winners in the NHL here on the show last night included the Colorado Avalanche yesterday on that -1 line. We also had the Islanders on the +1 line over the Edmonton Oilers. And we had Carolina on the -1 line over Anaheim, and we had Pittsburgh on the +1 line over the Kings. Last night, some of the action in the NHL, and didn't find the sledding too great in NBA as I had Houston and Atlanta over last night on the Morning Steam Show, but we did bring you the winner here yesterday with the Dodgers on the show, on the run line. They got it done, and we also had the over with Toronto and Seattle here on the Morning Steam Show yesterday. Try to bring you some winners there, and one game that we did smash, as we did have also Cincinnati Bengals, should mention that on the show yesterday, plus those points. But I think I swept that game, Tulsa and East Carolina. Remember, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to go side or total. So I just said take Tulsa and the over, and the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes got that back door and covered in a high-scoring game with East Carolina there last night. All right, thank you for joining me, everybody. We'll get rolling here on our previews for today, but don't forget to join us here tomorrow with our UFC coverage. Tomorrow night here on the Sports Money Network, we'll have UFC from Vancouver tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific, with that main event. DeRitter versus Allen. They're coming to us from Vancouver this week, and we're going to have great coverage here on the Sports Money Network with the guys here on Saturday. A little bit of an early start, 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for UFC from Vancouver. So we should have a fun night there. All right. Sean's ready to, he says, check your Discord. Well, I will, Sean. I'm on a little show right here, right now, but I'll do that, brother. Really appreciate all your support and also your contributions here. Man, it's been great having Sean Fox on the Sports Money Network. Real pleased with him on the channel. His show is on fire, bringing exactly what you want with those winners here on the show. Terrell here, he says, Cincy and Tulsa, team total over. And look at those Higgins and Chase, right? I mean, man, they were having a big night last night. Here's D-Money. Good morning. Nice to see D-Money here as well. All right. Get ready to go, folks. And like I said, you're eligible there with your comments in the chat. Want to thank everyone here in the chat right now, and our top commenters, including Nuke, including Doge, including Sean, Terrell, Timothy Hawk, D-Money, Bobby Mack, Jimbo, and Jim Duiger leading the way. All right. Great day, says the money there from yesterday. All right, let's try to have a good one today with our previews. And you know what? Look, it's a solid card here, maybe a little bit shorter than yesterday, and that basketball's a little long, but I will try to pick some winners in the NBA preseason anyways. I don't mind. I looked at it. I'm looking at the games and the standings, and hopefully we'll just get it through here this weekend and get ready for the regular season. Just a few more days left of the preseason here in the NBA. All right, let's get ready to roll here, I think, with the show. I think we can get rolling here right now and get going with our games today after the wild ones yesterday, including that Tulsa game in it, but 41-27. Hauser had 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns in that one. And let's go to, let's see here, Jerry, 10-1. A Dodgers ticket in the World Series there. And Terrell says, as long as there's football, we can get it done. Okay, but we got to start with baseball here. We got to start with what's number one, at least at this point. No disrespect. We got to talk baseball here today with game number 5 in Seattle here between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Seattle Mariners. Kevin Gausman goes to the hill here, and to me, it feels like even if I did try to bring home Seattle yesterday, now, at least in my eyes, I believe advantage Toronto. Even if I did not have the right pick in there, I'm ready to switch. Maybe I'm zigging when I should zag, but with Kevin Gausman against Bryce Miller, and given the scenario here and the momentum of Toronto, I'm ready to make the switch, I think, here, mostly because of Gausman. He's looked as solid as ever here a little bit in the postseason, and comes in with a 3.5 ERA this year, 1.05 whip, 214 batting average against, a 259 BABIP for Miller. Here in this one, he comes in with a 5-6 record, a 5.36 ERA, 1.35 whip, 258 batting average against. So I think it's a bit of a mismatch here pitching wise. I think that's what I'm feeling like. Maybe when you had Castillo in there yesterday, maybe that was a little bit once he got fatigued, they were in trouble. There, Gausman 1-1 with a 2.38 ERA here in the postseason. Miller does have a win with a 2.61 ERA, but Toronto's gone over in 7 of their last 9 coming in, and also Toronto 9-3 straight up in their last 12. They've also won 5 of the last 7 meetings against Seattle coming in. Seattle has struggled now all of a sudden here at home. They've lost 5 straight versus Toronto. Total's gone over in 7 straight against Toronto coming in for Seattle. Toronto's gone over in 4 of their last 5 on the road, and Seattle's gone over in 5 of their last 7 overall, and all those games, of course, against Toronto here. So maybe those Blue Jays bats just keep going here. This is a tight spot, but Gausman's been strong. Toronto has plenty of momentum, having win these last 2 games in blowout fashion, it feels like right now. Of course, Seattle known for that home field advantage for sure, but their head-to-head versus Toronto is kind of brutal historically, and now I'll side with the Blue Jays here in this one, given the fireworks we're seeing from them right now. I'll take Toronto to win, take the 3-2 lead. Look, the last time that there only one time has the road team won all 7 games of a 7-game series in Major League Baseball, and that was in 2019 in that Nationals World Series. So far, that is what we've seen. Now, I'm not going to say that Seattle goes into Toronto and then wins 2 games. This momentum is pretty hot here for Toronto, but they could lead 3-2 heading back. Whoever wins will lead 3-2 going back to Toronto after the travel day here in the 2-3-2 series. Let's hear from you in the chat and see what you like here in this one with Gausman and Miller. And let's say hi to everyone in the chat. And here we go. Okay, make some picks in here with you guys. And Justin's here this morning. Good morning to Justin. He likes the Blue Jays team total over in this one. And Sean says, hey, you got a great soccer slate here right now. And with, let's see how he said, full soccer slate last game for regular season. So a bunch of scrubs playing. We've got back to action here in major leagues in Europe. La Liga in action today. Also Bundesliga and League One, all with feature matches here tonight. Mexico, 3 games tonight, including my Tijuana Cholos in action against Puebla on the road in an even matchup. Wow. VAR likes the over here. D-Money says Toronto and over once again. Irish King is with us today. Robert's on the Jays here. Terrell says Bryce Miller on May 11th had 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 earned runs in a rough effort there, and that was at home at Seattle. So yeah, I'm on Toronto here to get it done at $1.15. Actually seeing $1.10 here. They're favored though, a slight favorite here in this one over the Mariners here tonight. And get that one starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific on Friday night. All right, thanks for everyone in the chat on that one. Let's go right to the National League right now and take a look. It does feel like here now for Milwaukee, who will get the start. Like I said, Jose Quintana, you're going to see a lot of Quintana in here. It's just a matter of whether he starts the game or maybe Chad Patrick could start the game for Quintana here, but it's all hands on deck for the Brewers here tonight in this one with the Dodgers. $1. They're up to $2. They're up to $2 now. I tried to keep it low on the screen, but figure $1.95 or more right now, and got to figure the run lines in play with these guys the way things are going. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not looking for notoriety here and want to say look at me, let's play the Brewers. I can't do it. I mean, this just feels like 3 runs and 27 innings for Milwaukee right now. And oh, by the way, Shohei Ohtani's on the mound here. So this looks like steam on the Dodgers coming in right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard the old steam-o-meter over here up to 205 at DraftKings right now, $2 at Bovada, 202 at Circa here currently. They're up, Dodgers up 3-0. They've certainly been dominant. Dodgers have gone under in 5 of the last 6 games, dating back to last series. Milwaukee's gone under in 5 straight. Dodgers won 13 of their last 14. Against Milwaukee, the total's gone under in 6 of their last 8 here against the Dodgers. So with the momentum, the dominance, the Brewers offense in stall mode here, you got to like the Dodgers here probably on the run line. But I'm going to actually go under as my pick here on the morning steam. I think everyone's so into the Dodgers here at this point. Let me at least give something else out here as my play. I will take the under in this one with Milwaukee and the Dodgers. I think everyone, look, if you want to take Milwaukee, but hey, you're getting a better price now, I guess. It feels like maybe the slight values on Milwaukee given the movement of the line here. And maybe with all that momentum, it is jacked up a little bit. I mean, anytime you look at the postseason $2 game, you'd have to think it is, but it's just been so dominant with these Dodgers here right now. I mean, I probably think the best bet of the night might be the Dodgers on the run line. I feel bad for these Brewers here right now. Let's go to the chat and see who's going to take the Brewers. Don't feel like you can't do it. I mean, if you think they can, sum it up. I mean, it's a Major League Baseball game. Here we go. D-Money, Dodgers sweep. Justin says, got Freddie over in his total bases. NYC Bar has got the sweep on. So Bobby Mack says first 5 here. And Nuke says it too. Throw in the towel. Man, what a bummer for these guys to get that far and really come up flat against this Dodger team. All right. That might be it for you guys in the chat. Just seeing right now the total here, a little bit of movement. Bovada 7.5 over 20 and down DraftKings. It is at 8 under 17 here. Circa's at an 8. So I think I can get an 8 out there. If you want to grade me at 7.5 under at even money, that might be okay too. I'm going to take the under here with the Dodgers and the Brewers. Hopefully the Dodgers won't score too many runs because we're really going against the Brewers, I think, here right now with that offense here at this point. So, all right, hopefully it'll be good. We have some football going on tonight to pick it up, and that one's at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific time from Chavez Ravine. All right, I think that's it from you guys in Major League Baseball today. So let's make it a little bit tougher here, maybe, and go to some college football. We've got 4 games, and we're not talking MAC. We're not talking Sun Belt. We are talking some major conference college football here. We've got ACC. We've got Big Ten tonight, and there's one in the Mountain West, but a little bit better selection here. Let me try to get my devices straight over here so I can get the latest information to you. Don't want any breaking news here without missing it here. There we go. Make sure I keep the tweet deck up in case we want to miss any headlines out here. All right, let's get going here. College football tonight. Good game. We got, hey, is Sean out there? We've got Miami going. Is she still out there? And give us the word on this one tonight here with Louisville coming in, taking on the Canes. And the Canes are 2 touchdown favorites. Wow, how things are going here in the ACC right now. Still, Louisville's pretty good, but Miami's looking good here at this point. It's a good game, huh? Even with that 13-point spread. You got to think we got 2 good teams for sure going in this one. All right, over at the Hard Rock. Now, Miami's been on fire at home. We know that right now with this home winning streak. I think it's reached double digits here now. And, you still got Louisville coming in here, but 4 straight meetings between these 2 teams have gone over here coming into this one. The Cards, even though they come in with a pretty good record here, they're not so good against the spread. Now, granted, I will give you that they have been favored in these games. I mean, they're 4-1 straight up and 1-4 against the spread. So that does show you that maybe they were just overrated on those numbers because they're still winning the games and averaging 36 points a game and allowing 21 points per game. Miami scoring 35 points per game and allowing 13.5 points per game so far. But just right now, the way Miami coming in, their defense at home plus Louisville spreads slump, there is something to be said for when you're not covering the spread. It means you're not living up to those expectations. Now, maybe 2 touchdowns. Maybe that could be the tipping point that keeps you off here. But this is a type of game that Cristobal sometimes struggles with, but I'm not sure that will be the case actually here tonight. Now, the Canes have had 2 bye weeks in the last 3 weeks, and you wonder with as hot as they are, how that will affect them coming in. I mean, they'll be rested. They'll be clean, if you know what I mean, right? I mean, they're not going to be real worn here coming into this one. Now, Louisville had kind of a misleading loss, it felt like, in that last game to Virginia, but man, I just feel like this Miami momentum is really something else here right now, and I kind of want to lay these points here, even with this. I think Louisville the public team coming into this one, getting 2 touchdowns, still, pretty decent here. Like I said, they're not covering the numbers, but that shouldn't be necessarily something that would necessarily keep you off here. Miami's looked the part of a title contender really for most of this season, but against Florida and Florida State, man, they almost look too relaxed out there. So I hope they're up for this one. Louisville is 7-3 against the spread in this series here of late, and they're also 3-0 against the spread as a visitor of late. They're also 5-1 against the spread in revenge games. So usually in these roles where they're a single-digit dog, they're actually pretty good, but double digits is actually a little bit different. but they are 7-0 against the spread with Coach Brahm when coming in off of a loss. Cristobal's 0-5 against the spread as a double-digit favorite when coming off back-to-back straight up and against the spread wins. So Louisville 16-4 against the spread as a double-digit road dog when they are above 500 and 7-0 against the spread in ACC games in that role. But man, I just think Miami's playing too well, and I'm expecting a blowout here. Meaning cover 2 touchdowns. Let's hear from you guys in the chat. I want to take Miami actually tonight. Let's see what you guys have in the chat here in this one. Let's take a look. All right. It's going to be, Lion Legacy says Dodgers, Blue Jays, Louisville on the spread here tonight. Barr likes Miami, -6.5. Jim says, man, would have been better for the Cubs and the Dodgers. See, Jim, and I wanted the Padres in there, of course, as well, because we have good success sometimes against the Dodgers. But now the Padres, the shit's hit the fan. The manager got fired, and now the Padres can't find a manager. Nobody wants to come manage this team knowing that, you know what, they're only going to be here for a year and a half the way Preller does business. I mean, the one thing about Preller, he just can't find a manager to stick with this team. Maybe that's costing him. You know, Preller, I'm a big Preller guy when it comes to the personnel, but, just feels like they're something wrong with the chemistry, and maybe there's always a tug of war there. Robert likes the under in the Louisville-Miami game. Here comes Sean. I just called him out because he is Kane's guy. So he says Miami doesn't cover big leads. Both defenses are ranked in the top 20, and then that's it. He says it. When we go up big, we let off the gas. He likes the points here, but is Louisville's offense going to be strong enough here? Do they have the playmakers? You're right. I mean, that is a major question here. I mean, I rate this team to cover this spread with my numbers, but I agree with the projection or the conjecture there that Sean has about Miami. But again, this should be an important enough game, but then again, I mean, so is Florida game and so is Florida State, right? I mean, if anything, those are just as significant, especially when you're playing the Seminoles in a conference game. So look, Louisville definitely has strong defensive situations here, especially against pass receivers. They do pretty well, but so does Miami. Miami stops the run really well as well. So I'm going to lay it here tonight with Miami over Louisville. I think they keep it going here right now. All right, too many points. Nuke is going to go with the Cards and Louisville. Team total over here for Terrell. Robert likes Miami over laying it in the first half. Hello to AOD here today. And Sean says 67% of the action is on Louisville against the spread here. And I'm all about the tickets. I hope I quoted that right, though, anyway. And how about Moss to throw an INT here? The former SC quarterback. Look, had a pretty good game, obviously, against Virginia. 329 yards, passed for 2 touchdowns, ran for another, did have the 1 pick. And let's see what else we got. And Justin's in there. He likes the Hurricanes as well. And, I mean, thing is, it's not – I don't think the spread's going to get any better, I guess, right? 13.5. I think there's some 13s out there too. So I think a lot of people here to get to Louisville are looking for that 14.5. But is it really going to get there? I'm not sure. All right, good one there with Louisville and Miami. 4-1 and 5-0. Probably the game. Feels like the game of the night, even though these other games are closer. Let's take a look here right now. Next up with Nebraska taking on Minnesota. And now here's another one. Nebraska, I already said, I as a Nebraska honk like I am, I don't like laying any points on the road, much less 7 when I could have laid 4. It's been a bit of a runaway spread here for Nebraska, and there's a little bit of distractions, maybe, if you will. It looks like Coach Rule is definitely in the mix there at Penn State, and maybe just, why would you go from Nebraska? Well, I know why, but you might go from Nebraska to Penn State, but man, kind of awkward. Awkward timing here for that to come up. He's asking at a press conference. He says, "I love Penn State, but I'm here at Nebraska." Well, you know what? That sounds like you love Penn State. So I know he does, certainly. But Nebraska here, a 7-point favorite against Minnesota. Total here, 47.5. So they're not, at least they're not playing Penn State. Nebraska comes in 5-1, obviously, and this is a series where the favorite has taken care of business. 10 straight victories for the favorite in this one. Although Huskers this time of year, once they get in the starting conference play, it gets a little bit rugged in covering numbers. Minnesota, meanwhile, usually this time of year we get some higher scoring games. Gophers' home value as an underdog, and maybe the fact that Minnesota's at home maybe points to a little bit of a tighter game here, I would think. And man, at 7 points now, I want no part of Nebraska, actually. Want to just get a big move in here. We've got almost breaking news, man. Did we get the announcement that maybe it is let's see here. Yep. Milwaukee and the Dodgers. The total is moving. So did we get the word that maybe it is Quintana in there? I know we were expecting it anyways, but the total right now here in Milwaukee and the Dodgers down to 7.5 over at many shops. Circa here has moved to 8 under, minus 120. They were at 8. So we're seeing a move here for sure on the under right now in the big game tonight between Milwaukee and the Dodgers. This is live steam that just came in from the line service right now, and the board is lit up red with Milwaukee and the Dodgers with all the books following suit here, moving this one lower. Maybe someone's dropped one in here, but the total moving under there. Okay. Let me continue, though, here with our second game here with Nebraska and Minnesota coming in. Then the last time the Cornhuskers beat Minnesota, Scott Frost was head coach. So that was a while ago, certainly back in the day, it feels like. So Nebraska, they're not very good at stopping the run so far. And Minnesota, though, has the worst run offense in the conference and couldn't even get 35 yards against Purdue last week. Now, the Huskers have not won consecutive road games since 2006 and are just 9-26 in their last 35 games on the road. I guess Rule has changed all that so much that he's in line for one of the best jobs in the country. And when they do win, they don't win by this many points either. In fact, out of those 9 victories, only 5 points have come by 7 points or more there. So, I gotta think Minnesota here. Yes, Minnesota doesn't look like they have maybe over in the past couple of seasons right now, but they still are underdogs. 7 or more, 12-5 against the spread in their last 17 in that role. So, look, Rule said he took himself out of contention for the coaching vacancy, but when you're talking about it like that, that means you're probably in. So let's see if he convinced his team that he's whether he's interested or not in the job here. And now that Nebraska is ranked, I think they were 25th in the country this week. We're back, says Big Red here. They are number 10 in the country in yards per game margin. Nebraska outgains their opponents dramatically this season so far, but I don't know if I'm impressed with their recent form enough to cover 7 points here with this news hanging over their head here a little bit. Huskers, they did get some luck against Michigan State and had to rally in the fourth quarter against Maryland last week. but they did get outgained by Purdue by over 200 yards, I think, in that game. So at least they're playing back-to-back. They're on the short week.
Final.
But I'm going to take them here against Nebraska. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. I'm taking the Gophers against my Huskers. Just a Huskers fan. But, okay. Let's take a look at this here with, let's see here. Sean said, let's see here. Justin's got Minnesota. D-Money's got Minnesota. Let's go over 47 yards here in this one. All right. Sean says got Hunter here over in his yards. I think they're, to me, I think Minnesota has more playmakers right now. I mean, I know the run game's bad. It's going to be tough, too. I mean, I don't know if Taylor's going to be able to get off the way these guys are going right now. But, between Hunter and Barney, Rayola's got to get it to them. They should be able to run with Johnson. But like I said, Minnesota's run defense has me a little bit impressed, too, against this kind of running game. I think that'll be just fine for Minnesota to slow Nebraska's run game down a little bit. Terrell says Minnesota over 19.5 team total. Says this year, look at the numbers that they put up at home so far with those points. Sean likes Rayola to get over on his passing touchdowns today. And like I said, Hunter and Barney, I think they're two of the guys that are going to have to come through here big time. Nine Legacy says Minnesota to cover the spread. And Justin says got to get that under maybe in that game right now. And Barr says, you got Minnesota, Ramon? I do. I'm going to take Minnesota here in this one plus those points against my Huskers. From 4 to 7, I mean, I don't know. I guess that an argument could be made. Like I said, this Minnesota team is not the Minnesota team of the last couple of years. But I will say this. I think that they are pretty healthy, actually, coming into this game. Other than their long-term injuries. But I think they're a much healthier team coming in. Okay. Thanks a lot to the chat, and let's move on to the next one. We're going to the Mountain West here with San Jose State, taking on Utah State in this one. And at Merlin Olsen Field, Utah State is covered 5 straight games at home, dating back to last year. They're 3-3 overall right now. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two have gone over, and look at that total. I mean, we're expecting some fireworks. It's actually gone down from an opener of 63.5, 64.5 or so, down to 61.5. So maybe there's some value there if you look at the way I do. And it feels like we should have fireworks in this game. Utah State's gone over in 13 of their last 16, dating back to last year. Now, San Jose State has struggled in their matchups with Utah State. The Aggies' offense and consistent over trends kind of make it seem like that they should be able to put up points here against San Jose State. But I like the way the Spartans are looking here right now under Coach Ken. It feels like he's finally found his groove a little bit with what he wants to accomplish with his offense here. And I kind of think that San Jose State can match Utah State. Utah State was certainly a disappointment last week in that game against Hawaii. They led 26-24 in that game, but gave up the final 20 points and got blown out almost eventually. But then again, San Jose State led Wyoming 28-14 entering the fourth quarter and got outscored 21-0 to lose the game there. So two teams that want to kind of give it away here, it feels like. So Aggies did not enjoy their trip to the islands there for sure. But I will say this about Utah State, and this is a little bit of a worry for San Jose State backers. Utah State is 14-0 against the spread, coming off of a double-digit loss and facing a team that is also coming off of a straight-up and double-digit loss. So San Jose State is also kind of susceptible in this role as well. Like I said, against Utah State, they never perform well. They're 1-10 straight up, 2-9 against the spread in the last 11 meetings between the two. But I think Coach Ken is kind of the difference maker here, and I think the offense will be able to keep up in this game. I think we get a wild one here. You got certainly Walter Eget is averaging over 300 yards per game so far. And the Aggies have Barnes, and he's awesome too. So, all right, let's see what you guys have here in the chat. And I've got two good coaches that I really like. See what you got here in the chat. Not much on this one, huh? Var likes Utah State here. Justin likes Utah State to put up those points over 33.5. Var says here he likes the under the 68.5 on an alternate line. Take it up there, a little tease, kind of a tease there. And let's see, Sean says, can San Jose State be trusted after what happened last week, right? Boy, I sure hope so. I'm taking them to be here in a wild game. That's just all. I think I'm relying on the variance a little bit, but more so my play actually is on the over in this game here on the Morning Steam show. I'm going over as my official Morning Steam play. Robert likes Utah State in the first half, -2.5, 9 Legacy. Utah State on the spread. And Louisville for Terrell. Louisville team total over there for Terrell. Oh, he says right now it's going up. He says right now Louisville team total over is going up. All right. Well, hey, the Mountain West, a kind of game in there. All right, let's go one more here and check in on Uncle Bill and see what we got here between North Carolina and Cal. Oh, boy. Well, what's Uncle Bill going to do here? Cal's won 4 of their last 5 games off of a loss dating back to last year. They usually do well around this time of year. North Carolina, they've dropped 7 of their last 8 as an underdog dating back, and they've also gone under in 4 of their 6 games, 4 of their last 6, including back to last year, 1 game. But Cal is steady off of a loss, no doubt about that. But definitely North Carolina is not very good offensively on the road. I mean, they need to bring the defense and hope that kind of holds up here is what it feels like. You'd think that Carolina, with a week off, could muster up the defense maybe. And look, the move is on North Carolina clearly here. This one was opened as high as 13. It's all the way down to 8 here right now at Bet Online, 9 here at several other books right now coming in. So you wonder how the locker room's hanging up if North Carolina, Bill, is he really trying to find a way out of his contract? Would his son take over? What would happen here if Bill doesn't want to continue here? Maybe assistant coach Jordan, she wants to spend more time with daddy. So who knows what's going on with North Carolina? They've been non-competitive in all 3 of their games against Power 4 teams so far this season, but Cal's been kind of sketchy too so far. They led Duke, remember, 21-7, lost that game 45-21, and that's to a Duke team that coming into their big game here this weekend, undefeated in ACC play. So maybe that was just a tough matchup in the end, but they did lead the game, right? So we'll see. Maybe it's just better if Carolina just gets down to business and plays some defense here against these guys getting double digits. Maybe they can hang in here in this one, especially if it's a reasonably low-scoring game. I mean, the total here right now is down to, 47 here? And that was, look, this thing opened at circa at 44.5. Now everybody else opened up a little bit higher here, but circa originally liked it under, and that stood out for me a little bit because I think that's the way North Carolina certainly would need this one. Heels are just 1-8 against the spread, coming in against teams that are off a bye themselves. So I don't know. Before we want to get involved with Cal, I think this one maybe Carolina can stay in here and at least get this money this time. Come on, Uncle Bill, let's go. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one. I think my official play is actually going to be on the under in this game at 47 here on the Morning Steam Show, but I want to hear from you in the chat. See what you guys have here. All right. VAR is on Carolina. Oops, missed it there. VAR is on. Well, Carolina. Hey, want to say hello to Francisco Lore. Man, Francisco, thank you for joining me here in the chat All-Stars. He says he wants to, make note there about San Jose State quarterback Eget is questionable for this game, and he is definitely an important part. But I do expect him actually to be in this game. But thank you, Francisco. I do note that for sure. He's definitely listed questionable here. I don't even think they gave a reason for his why he was questionable. All right, let's see. And Sean says, take Cal to roll, Uncle Bill here. Sean likes Cal. Well, we're might be against us here. Robert here on the under. And let's see here. San Jose State's best running back out for the season. Yeah, Coach Ken, though, he's got this team riled up. But, yeah, know that Jabari Bates. But that has been a couple of weeks now. Hey, Earth to Air the Billionaires here today. Nice to see you, Earth to Air the Billionaire. When he's here, we're having fun. Sean says, don't forget, you got turnover machine there at Cal coming in. Sean talking about Sagapolatelli for sure, but look, he's got his weapons with DeJesus and Rafael in the backfield, and of course Gio Lopez for Carolina still hanging in there. Look, they don't get a lot of production out of that offense, and Jerry Jones says who's going to lay it with Cal. All right, I think that might be it for the college football 4-game card tonight, and a good one. Good one here. Good 4-game Friday night card. Now, by that time, I got my high school football too, but I'll have those games on, even though I put most of my TVs on a few high school games that I watch and cover, but got to keep an eye on those college games on a Friday night. All right, let's continue to move on here right now. We've got a 4-game card in the NHL this evening, and let's get to it here. After last night's wild card, man, I'm kicking myself a little bit. I did not have a great card in the NHL so far. First kind of rough one, it felt like there. So let's get into it here right now with the Wild taking on the Caps. And looks like Gus. Uh-oh. Got to spell Gus's name right, though. How disrespectful. There we go. All right, I think I'm ready to go now here in the NHL tonight. Get it started here with Minnesota on the road, taking on the Red Wings. So far, Minnesota taking on Washington here in this one. And, Minnesota's actually dominated this series here of late. They've won 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams, but hats off to Washington here so far with what's going on. A pretty good start. 3-1 record so far this season for Washington. They've looked pretty tight defensively. Let me just get this out here right now. I want to point this one out. Detroit and Tampa Bay. Steam is coming in to the under right now. I just want to make it clear because my pick is going to be on the under in the Tampa Bay Minnesota game. If you're tailing, I'll give you the reasons hopefully here in just a moment. But the line is moving right now on the under. It looks like Bovada might have been the trigger here. Actually, they have just moved to 6 over 15. We're seeing some steam here to the under, says the line service just moments ago. Under in Tampa Bay and Detroit. All right, let me keep on going, though, here with that first game, and I'll cover the other one here in just a moment with the Wild taking on the Capitals here in this one. So Washington's been hot to start with this good defense so far this season, looking pretty strong here at 3-1. The Wild are 2-2. Gus has been a little bit up and down so far, but Logan Thompson so far looking good. I did see one change in the goalies today. Let me see. I don't think it was in this game though. We don't have the confirmed goalies in here, but I'm expecting Gus and Logan Thompson here. Thompson, a 92% save percentage. He's 2-1, allowing just 2 goals per game so far this season. I got to like the Caps to keep it going here. They're up to $1.25 or so, but I'm taking the Capitals here in this one today against Minnesota. Few comments in the chat here. Let's see. Justin's on the Wild here. And Sean's usually sharp on those shots on goal props, but he hasn't figured it out yet. 9 Legacy, Red Wings on the money line. Timothy Hawk is on the Caps, and Robert likes the under here in this one. And like I said, we're seeing those that line movement here right now, coming in here, a little bit of sharp action in the Lightning and the Red Wings. And I'm going to talk about that right now. Here we go. There we go. Lightning and the Red Wings coming into this one. And got Detroit here looking pretty good also right now at 3-1 so far. I think they're up already 3 units this season behind this start right now. And Red Wings at home, they've looked pretty good. And even dating back to last year, a little bit of steam coming in here right now. If I can squeeze this in real quick, Minnesota and Philadelphia basketball game tonight. Seeing the steam coming into the over here. It was 219, but looks like we're going to be up towards 221 or higher here with Minnesota and Philadelphia. Some steam coming in on the over right now tonight with the Timberwolves and the Sixers NBA preseason action, where the line moves might be a little bit more significant than the regular season, right? All right, let me continue on here with Tampa and Detroit. Now, Gibson's in here for the Red Wings. Now, Gibson definitely has struggled here a bit so far in his one start. I think, remember, he gave up 8 goals or something like that, and got roughed up pretty good in that first game. But, he's in here for a reason in this one for Detroit here. So, let's see what happens in tonight's game. You have a Tampa team that, look, they've only won 2 of the last 6 meetings between the Lightning and the Red Wings coming in. The Lightning are kind of leaking goals here. Vasilevsky's 0-2-1 with a 4.07 goals against as well. Now, I do expect these two to tighten it up here tonight, given the way this series usually I want to say the way it usually goes here, but let me hear from you guys in the chat if you guys have a pick in this one, because I kind of want to go under here, especially with that move coming in. I thought I was being cute and wanted to take under, but now all of a sudden the line's kind of moved here. Let me go to the chat here real quick. I don't think you can talk me off of it. I mean, I've already made my bet, so okay, let's take a look here. We got some plays coming in, and 9 Legacy was on Minnesota there. Var like the Lightning. There's Fernando. He's on the Caps money line. And let's see here. Sean says these goalies have been pretty weak so far, right? He says he'll go over if it drops to 6. It should go to 6. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of books still 6.5 juice to the under here, but 6 over 20 at Circa, 6 over 12 at Bovada, 6 over 20 at my book here, the station. So maybe Sean, though, means a 6 flat there. Washington money line and Obi anytime goal for Irish King in that other one. And Timothy's on the wings. Robert likes the first period over here in this one. All right, and let's move on to the next one here with the Canucks here on the road. Now, I think this is where I'm showing the Canucks here maybe have moved to Lankinen here in goal tonight. Maybe I was on a show last night. I think I had Demko in there, but I believe Lankinen now will get his second start of the season here for Vancouver. That hasn't necessarily changed too much because of, they're probably supposed to be better than Chicago. But look, I don't think you can't help but be impressed by Chicago's improvement so far. We're not, putting them in the playoffs just yet, but they've looked good. They're 2-2-1 here, right, so far. So Knight in here is 1-2 so far, but 2.35 goals against and a .92 save percentage for Vank. Lankinen here comes in 0-1 with a 4.07 goals against and an 88% save percentage coming in. So here's the problem. If you wanted to take Chicago tonight and maybe they keep it going, maybe they are improved. I mean, you'd think eventually with the some of the young talent, the young goalie here, that they'd get a little bit better. But Vancouver's won 10 straight meetings against Chicago right now, and also 6 straight meetings here at United Center. So look, the Hawks have been competitive, but they're a little bit inconsistent so far defensively. I still think they're allowing over 3.5 goals per game so far. Chicago has a tendency to go home under at home, but Vancouver may have the firepower here. But with Lankinen in there, does that change things a little bit? I mean, so far so good, it feels like, for Chicago right now. And the fact that, they're a little bit of a dog here in Vancouver, nothing special, I don't think, right, on the road here. So maybe Chicago plus $1.25, but they'd have to end a 10-game losing streak against these guys. And, they're somewhat regular opponents. Let's see what we got here from the chat. I think we got a few more in there. Let's see here. Sean, one of the Red Wings team total over in that other game. And there's Irish King on Detroit Moneyline. Justin says take the Blackhawks over in the Blackhawks game here, I think. Yep. And Sean says take Gensel and Larkin over 0.5 point today and parlay them up. Timothy Hawk says take the Blackhawks. So Hawks have lost 10 straight to the Canucks. Yeah, but I'm taking them. I'm taking them despite the streak here. I'm impressed so far with what I've seen from Chicago, and I think this is a beatable opponent. I'm not ready to go up there necessarily if they play more elite teams, but Timothy's the man. But okay, here's a bar on the under. Chicago money line at home says Irish King. Here's Timothy says take Bozer over, take his anytime goal, and he says 5 of the last 6. He scored in 5 of the last 6 games. Is that what that is there? Hawks have yet to lose. They're staying competitive here. Robert likes the over. And he says, how about Vancouver in Dallas last night, for that game? Don't forget there. And, I was just bitter because I ended up taking the steam came in on the Canucks in that game actually late. And Jeff had the over in that one on Winnable. Make sure you're hooked up with Jeff there for sure, but Dallas had a rough one. All right. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and take the Blackhawks here in this one on the Morning Steam Show. We got one more here in the NHL, and it's the Sharks taking on the Mammoth. A Skaroff here for the Sharks, and Bezrilka in here for the Mammoth in this one. And boy, 250, huh? All right. Well, hey, you know what? Nothing wrong with Utah and some of these home games right now. They're slowly building up a good home ice advantage here. It feels like, and well, San Jose is back to being San Jose, or are they? I mean, they've gone to overtime twice so far without a win to show for it. So there's that. But Utah coming in here, they've become one of the most reliable home teams nearly in the league here. It seems like still a huge number. It feels like in this one up at 250 here, but I don't know. It feels like one where I might just want to consider it. Vejmelka, 1.67 ERA, 93% save percentage has been stellar. And, well, Askarov, we just got to see. I mean, how is he going to function here in the NHL? Will he be able to, be what we're expecting? I mean, right now, got roughed up in that one game. He was the one that gave up 8 goals, right? What was that score? He got rocked there. But I think, well, didn't that one go like that was the overtime? That was one of the overtime games he got rocked in.
Critical notice.
So, all right, for me, I've got to take Mammoth here. I'm taking the Mammoth on the puck line here today. Give me Utah tonight.
Final.
And let's see here. Bonzi had to retire in that match against Lechka. Wow, how about that? Bonzi had won the first set 7-6, but he had to retire in the match. Lechka came back to win 6-1 in the second set, and then it was ahead 4-1, and Bonzi had to walk off there. I had a bet on the game spread, so I get a void there. All right, let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this last one here on the ice tonight. And we've got Abel. Hello, Abel. He says, good morning. He's got the Dodgers to do it here. And Justin likes Utah. Lay it with them. Irish King says, take a big dumper. Time out. All right. No potty jokes, please, here in the morning steam, all right? Take Cal to a home run and Ohtani to a home run. God damn it, Irish King. All right. Get back. Let's move on. Utah puck line here. Utah for Timothy. And we might have to end the show. Oh, thank God the hockey's over. Give me Utah. We're going to do some basketball and get out of here. All right. Well, look, I've been playing the basketball card every night here in preseason, and, we're not going too heavy on these, you guys. We've had some fun. We've had some winners. I mean, I'm not kidding around here when I look at the NBA preseason. I think I'm bringing you a pretty solid handicap, about as solid as one could get for a preseason handicap, trying to analyze look, to me, when you look at the preseason, you look at what, how the teams are playing in the preseason. I mean, that's, I know that sometimes the stars are in there, sometimes they're not. You know what? Sometimes when they're not, that's when the other team's better, because you just get the star in there for his work, and then he's out of there, and then the line goes the other way, because with the starter in there, they jack the line up, and he's out of there by halftime. So I think we've been pretty solid on some of these games. We're going to take a look at the card here right now. And let's take a look. Let's get to it here right now with the Nets taking on the Raptors here in this one. And you got Nets here on the road. Toronto's been solid here so far, 3-2 record. They've had some heavy minutes on the starters so far. Has Toronto? I think more so than some of the other teams. Heavy minutes for the starters a little bit early on. Maybe that's why they've had success. Brooklyn, 2-1. They've had a good balance so far. Good for Brooklyn here to be 2-1. They won the two games pretty comfortably, and the loss was a little bit close, I think. The Nets reserves actually have been strong in late stretches. Toronto defense has actually looked to slip here a little bit in the preseason, it looks like to me, but the Raptors' scoring pace has also slowed here, it looks like, dramatically. So I've got to take the under in this one with Brooklyn and Toronto. You guys can comment if you'd like. I'm not going to I'll go over the plays that you guys might have, but we won't have a lot of contributions here in these. And next up is the Timberwolves here taking on the Sixers. We did report that steam that just came in. Let's see what it's up to now. By the time that was about, 30 minutes ago or so? Right now, Philadelphia is up to a 6-point favorite, and the total here up to 221. So, yeah, a little bit of a move here for sure on Philly. Yep, for sure. Philly's been the worst team in the league so far in the preseason in efficiency. They're 0-3, I think, right now with a minus 18-point differential as well, while Minnesota's been dominant in spurts for sure, averaging over 122 points per game. The Sixers have not defended well. They haven't scored well so far, and I would think Minnesota can give them probably, I don't know, Minnesota maybe can win the game the way this is going. The Wolves' tempo should pace it beyond expectation. I think I see why that total's moving up here. I like this one pretty good. I'm going to take the over in this one with Minnesota and Philadelphia tonight. Got some comments in the chat from you guys. Let's see here. Nets here for Robert. And Sean says the number one thing in preseason is some of these teams 100% don't care. I don't know, Sean. I mean, if I'm a young player and I get my chance to play in the game, I think I'm going to try. I mean, my life is on the line here. I'm trying to get a job here. NYC Bar likes the over. Sean says the Sixers are one of those teams that don't care. Yeah, you're right about that. Let's see here. Let's see. Andrew says I was betting big spreads in preseason, been cashing those big numbers there. And Sean says Memphis, the other team that does. Yeah, Memphis is mailing it in too, for sure. Justin says he's got the 2-3 zone coming back next week. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'll be tuned into that, Justin. That'll be awesome. You guys did an incredible job with that show with the WNBA, and it's coming back for the NBA. How about that? That's breaking news here, I think. All right, Andrew says the Lakers were 8.5 the other night with Luka. They put right, and Andrew, case in point. I mean, that's exactly the game I was thinking of. Robert likes the Timberwolves here as well tonight. Got to respect the line move, you guys, for sure. Maybe Philadelphia's got something tonight. Maybe there's something in Minnesota talking about that lineup tonight a little bit. We'll see. I mean, again, I like to take a shot in some of these games. I like to talk a little preseason basketball and get the feel for it. We're almost over. I mean, come on, we only got a couple of days left here right now before we get to the regular season, and I'm excited about that. All right, just looking here at a bunch of tweets here real quick. All right. Let me move on here right now. And Sean did take Minnesota there, plus those points. Uh, he's not afraid of that news that came out either. Now here's Charlotte and the Knicks. Knicks are up to 5 here right now, I think. And the total 227.5 in this one. The Knicks are 3-1, I believe, and looking pretty good. I think they might have the best defense in the preseason so far. And if you're playing a little bit of defense in the preseason, given Mike Brown's philosophy, I think that's a real good sign here right now. They're allowing just over 100 points per game. Now, Charlotte's pretty unpredictable. They're playing fast. Got to like their young talent and their young lineup, but might be overmatched here a little bit in this one. We'll see what the Knicks run out there. I mean, obviously they are favored in this one, and if their structure continues right now, this is not good news for any Charlotte team. I think that they would throw out there. I'm actually going to end up taking the Knicks here minus the points at 5, and I figure if they are, they're obviously taking this defense pretty seriously here in the preseason with those numbers for sure. They've been controlling the tempo and doing a good job here so far at 3-1. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it actually with the Knicks, lay 5 points today. And we've got Robert laying it with the Knicks, Fernando laying it with the Knicks here as well. And let's see what Sean says. 2-player 10-point parlays are money. 2-team, what is that? Sean, is that like the 10-point, 2-player 10-point parlay? Okay, brother. I don't know if I'm even familiar with that. I'm supposed to be an expert up here. But, all right. No one knows who's playing for the Knicks, right? But again, their philosophy here right now, there's got to be something to it because they are number one, I believe, defensive efficiency so far. Okay, let's keep it rolling here. We got more action tonight with the Nuggets taking on the Thunder here in this one. We got the Thunder minus 4.5, total 229 here in this one. And the way I'm seeing this one here, both teams have been pretty impressive actually in the preseason. Denver's doing a pretty good job. I think they're 3-1. OKC 3-2. Denver's had some balanced scoring, that's for sure. And I think OKC has had some impressive preseason rotations here. OKC is up to 6.5. I think that might indicate what their situation here is. Man, that line is getting away, and I think they are expected to kind of run these guys out of the building. It feels like here tonight. We'll see. Again, like Sean said right there in the chat, you just don't know, but I try to know, and that's why I play preseason basketball. That's part of the handicap. And boy, that's gone a little bit high for me, but I'm still going to take the Thunder here tonight and lay 6.5 points. My digestion of the Denver information here is that they are kind of mailing this one in here tonight, and I think that's why you're seeing this runaway favorite here at 6.5. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it here with the Thunder tonight. And VAR likes the over. And Bobby Mack says go over 230. All right. I've got another few more games here. And we've got the Grizzlies taking on the Heat here in this one. You got the Heat favored by 4.5. And the total's up to 232.5. Here with these two. Memphis, they've mailed it in pretty good here. They're 0-4 and pretty much been getting blowed out. They're pretty much this season. Miami's 0-5, 0-9 together between these two teams. Grizzlies are giving up 130 points per game, but the Heat haven't scored over 115 yet, have they? Maybe this is the get-right spot here for Miami at home, laying 4.5 here. I guess if I looked at the numbers here, they definitely have the slightly steadier defense here. This game's pretty erratic. The steam came in on the over. I don't know where they're getting that. Uh, uh, I'm going under. I'm going under here. 232.5. No. I'm going under in this one with the Grizzlies and Miami. I'm going to fade that steam. I'm going to fade that steam for sure in this one. Somebody's got to win. Heat minus 4.5, says Robert. They're over, right? I almost want to look at the standings here to make sure. I'm kind of going off memory here. Let me see. Miami is 0-5, 0-5, and Memphis is 0-4. All right. Well, okay. Hey, somebody got to win. And Bar says take the Grizzlies on the money line. Why not? Somebody's got to win. Okay, a few more here. I got Indiana taking on the Spurs. Well, some teams are taking preseason seriously, and the San Antonio Spurs are that team. They're 4-0. They've been probably – there are a couple good teams. I don't know if any of them have been better than the Spurs. They're sharing the ball nicely, averaging over 122 points per game. The Pacers are 2-1, and they have a hot offense. The one game that they lost definitely had some inconsistent defense there, but I think with San Antonio, this one is at home. They're favored by 5.5 here. The chemistry's been good, man. I can only expect San Antonio to continue to improve this season. I think in this spot on this night, I'm going to take the Spurs, and I'm going to lay it here minus 5.5. I'm probably on too many favorites for a preseason Friday night, but I think that's the way it's supposed to go. Sean says everybody's in there for Miami. Let's do it tonight, Sean. Let's take Miami then for sure. I want to do it. Sean says the best game of the night is coming up next. Let's get to it. I'm on the Spurs here. But you got the Clippers and the Warriors here. Clippers quietly been dominant here so far in their 2 victories for sure, while the Warriors, look, they're giving heavy minutes to their rotation players, it feels like, and it's looked good. 3-1 so far. Now, Clippers are playing a little bit of defense in the preseason for sure. It feels like coming in, and meanwhile, they might be able to frustrate Golden State. I expect this one, Sean said it's the best game of the night. I do expect tighter perimeter defense from both teams in this game, actually. Total here is 225. It's one of the lower, that might be average total here tonight. In fact, some of these totals are a little bit lower than what we've seen from the scoring in the preseason so far. But again, maybe we're ramping it down here a little bit. So I'm on upset alert. I'm going to take the Clippers here tonight. This one, I might even grab them on the money line here. A little bit of steam coming in right now. College football for this weekend. Army and Tulane total over is taking the steam here right now. So consider that move here. We're seeing the total go over in Army and Tulane. All right, and we've got one more on the NBA card tonight. Why not? With the Clippers taking on, the Kings. Kings here taking on the Lakers. Final game. I think we looked at them all here during the preseason. Both teams are struggling big time, and man, we've been fading the Lakers. Hey, they even won a game and we lost against them, but the Kings, they're just as bad here. They've been leaky defensively, to say the least. LA hasn't proven they can pull away from anyone. And I think this one you'll see plenty of reserves in the second half. Both defenses have been poor throughout the preseason. So at 227, I think that's a joke, actually. And if I was, look, preseason plays are very small plays, but this one would be like feels like a full regular season play maybe, but I'll just have to take it easy here and be cautious. But I'm going to go over 227 for sure in this game with Sacramento and the Lakers here tonight. That's a look at the basketball here. Thank you. Let's see here. Sean has some players there with Normie and Clippers. No Harden, no Kawhi. Yep. And Justin on the Clippers with me here tonight. I'm taking them. All right, I guess that's a look there at the NBA. I've got 2 games tonight here to look at in the CFL, and why not? I mean, we've been clicking in the CFL right now. I'm hot, and I'm going to knock these out of the park here as well. I feel like I can't go wrong right now in the CFL. But let's take a look at these 2 games anyway with Saskatchewan taking on Winnipeg. You know, in these 2 teams, the defenses usually dominate 5 straight games between these 2 teams. 4 of the last 5 between these 2 teams have gone under. Saskatchewan's gone under in 5 straight games on the road. Winnipeg, meanwhile, has gone under in 5 straight as well, as their defense has kind of been cooling down here a little bit. But you know what? I kind of like this number here now having dipped down to 7. It's a little bit juiced. I'm seeing some 7 flats out there, seeing some 7.5. I'm even seeing a little bit of 8, but I think you can find 7 out there. The Bombers at home, they're 9-1 straight up in their last 10 against Saskatchewan. Now, I know the Riders have been scrappy enough defensively that maybe they could stay in here, but I would think that Winnipeg actually will get this. I think Saskatchewan's actually going to have a tough time scoring in this one, and I think that ends up being the difference here is they just don't have enough offense here in a game with, I don't know if you want to call it, but maybe 2 of the best, maybe the best defenses going, it feels like right now in the league here anyway with Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, especially Saskatchewan right now. I mean, they're just looking strong, but again, you got Winnipeg a big favorite here. I think that shows you what might be going on here in this game. This is a hot game there out west, and I'm going to take Winnipeg actually to cover this one. I'm going to lay 7. I think Saskatchewan's the public side here, but I think Winnipeg gets one here and gets a comfortable victory against Saskatchewan. I think that's going to be because of Saskatchewan's great season here thus far. I think that getting the points, maybe it's one of those that the line tells the story. I'm not that guy, but I'm going to lay it with Winnipeg. All right, I've got one more here with Edmonton on the road, taking on the Lions here in this one. Look, Edmonton, they've covered 5 in a row right now, but it does feel like this is still a pretty tough game. But Edmonton has improving defense for sure, and they've been going under big time of late. I think it's 11 of the last 12 games right now for Edmonton have gone under. Now, the Lions do own this matchup. They've won 10 of the last 11 meetings with Edmonton. They've also won 5 straight at home over Edmonton. This feels like maybe Edmonton is in there early, and then BC with their good offense, good defense, and home field can wear them down late. And I would think that we're not going to get a shootout here. I'm going to end up taking the under here in this one with Edmonton and BC. Yeah, with Rourke, with Hatcher, with McInnes, BC's got those weapons here, and they may get it done. I'm worried about Edmonton in this game, actually. I know BC definitely has some leaks in that defense, particularly pass defense here, but I don't know if they have enough explosiveness here. Gittins, Julian Grant in here maybe for Edmonton can get going. And look, I don't think they'll pressure for Fajardo here, but I think I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under as the play here. I think BC might. I think BC is going to be able to cover this one. They come in 9-7. Edmonton 7-9. 2 games tonight in the CFL. I think that's it. And and Saskatchewan. They've already wrapped things up. I think that's a big part of the handicap for sure there, right, Sean, as far as that move. Okay, I guess that's it for the Morning Steam show here. Man, thank you very much for joining us here. And like Sean mentioned, you got those soccer matchups today, the Espanol on the road. You got Mönchengladbach at Berlin today, and PSG at home, a big favorite by 1.5 goals over Strasbourg. And I'll be looking forward to some Mexican League tonight. All right. Don't forget, join Mikey Money here at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Pre-gaming, Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action, including college football, Major League Baseball, some NHL, and more. So join Mikey here on Friday night. And then make sure you join me tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific for the Morning Steam. I'll be here to get you ready for the college football card. Man, I've already started looking ahead for what games I'm going to preview tomorrow, including Georgia Tech and Duke, LSU and Vandy, UNLV and Boise, Washington and Michigan, Arizona and Houston, Ole Miss and Georgia, Holy War, Utah and BYU, Texas Tech and Arizona State, SC and Notre Dame. Don't cancel the series, and Tennessee and Alabama. Be a great Saturday of college football. I'm going to be up here for several hours before I get my Friday nap. And Mike said he figured out when Ramon sleeps. Yeah, it's Friday. Friday, usually right there a few hours, until the baseball game starts. Friday is my sleep day. Get ready because I go all night. I go all night on Fridays. All right, let's get ready for the drawing here right now. I want to thank everybody for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. And you can get more plays from me every day when you go over to winnable.com/Ramon. See Sean in the chat there. He's out there as well. Oops, let me get this off the screen there for just a moment. Bring me back up. Don't forget, for me here, you can get my plays over at winnable.com/Ramon. And for just 50 cents a day, and when you subscribe and use the promo code STEAM and choose 1 month at $19.95, it does come out about 53 cents a day. You get more plays from me. And hey, I've been a little bit hotter in my overnight plays, especially my tennis. Than my NHL. That's not good at the start of the season, but hey, I'm going to get it right here and get you going. And if you want more plays from me, I'm hopefully going to give you a bunch of winners here on the Morning Steam Show every day. But if you want some timely plays from me delivered to your device, gives you a notification. You can turn on the notifications, and I send them out usually 30 to 60 minutes before game time. Subscribe, and really appreciate it. That's what keeps me coming back here on the Morning Steam. We got a lot of subscribers actually to both the free plan and the paid plan, so please check it out. And again, a very inexpensive 50 cents a day. If this show's worth 50 cents to you, please consider subscribing. Keep me fed in pizzas. Look, I've only got about 4 or 5 dozen subscribers. When it comes out to 50 cents a day, this we're not. They say, well, you're selling. Why do you have to do that? Well, really, it's just a matter of the labor that I put in, the hours that I put in here, and really appreciate all that. We know that sports betting is a grind, but I'm here for you every day making those picks. You can get them over at winnable.com/Ramon.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, let's do the drawing right now. If you'd like to win 1 month of those plays, you can do so right now. Here we go. Jimmy, Irish King, Nuke Worker, Heir to Bear to Billionaire, Abel, AOD, Sean, Irish King, Winners Terrell. Winners Terrell, how about that? Great to have Terrell always stopping by, and I'll update his account here. I think he's in with me. If not, make sure you sign up again, Terrell, and use that promo code WINNER. You use the promo code WINNER to get 1 free month. To sign up for a month, you won't be charged. I'm only going to charge you if you want to be charged. And the Winnable, they're totally a lot of people using Winnable these days. All of our crew is. So it's a delivery method that you can trust. Okay, thanks a lot, you guys. Appreciate that. And get ready for more Morning Steam tomorrow. I'll be back, but don't forget tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. We've got UFC from Vancouver. We'll be here with the guys. There'll be a lot of great college football on tomorrow as well when we're on the show, and baseball, everything. So make sure you join us for the coverage here on Saturday. And don't forget, you can get ready for the UFC card by watching VB MMA Picks. But this week we had Big Marcel, one of the top MMA journalists in the world, as our guest handicapper with BB. We previewed 3 fights, but also we have First Strike. The guys previewed their best picks for the week. Mikey Money, MMA Jeff, Subhuman Gaucho have their 3 best plays and their breakdown as well. So make sure you're checking it out. You can get started on your UFC picks and capping. I know I have done it already as well. So make sure you join us here, and make sure you subscribe to me. I send out my full card, UFC card, late tonight for the action. So it gives you plenty of time. So make sure you're subscribed with me to get my UFC picks for Saturday. It's going to do it here for the Morning Steam. Be back tomorrow. Looking forward to you guys joining me back here for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam, Ramon Scott, sports money.